I'm here bright and early, ready to put the radio mics on the cast, take it over to costume, ready for them to get dressed. Off we go. I've only got 3 to hand out this morning. They're getting dressed at 7:30, so I'm here nice and early to get them out. My job is to work with costume. So they, at the beginning of the job, wanted the radios all in their trailers when they get dressed so that they can go on with the corsets and things like that. It just makes it easier for everyone, basically. So I've switched that on. Now I get my trusty app. This means that I don't have to rummage around with the pack when it's on their person. I can do everything through this app. It's great. So I'm going to put it to sleep, like so. And that just means it's going to save the battery. We can't hear it until we turn it on, basically. Okay, so we've got Benedict, who is not in here. However, just leave it on the side. Keep the heat in, it's quite cold today. She's not in either. Let's put that up there. It's important to have a rapport in the mornings when everyone's a bit grumpy and tired. It's quite nice to have a little joke, make it easy for everyone else. The pinnacle for me in the sound department would ideally be a sound mixer. However, at the moment, I don't really like sitting still for that long. So boom op is definitely where I'm heading. And I think for the majority of my time in the film industry, it will definitely be boom op so that I can prance about and wave my arms around and use my body a little bit. Just re-batterying my comms so that I can hear everyone, I can hear what's going on the floor, and I can hear what my boss has to say, which is always super interesting.
I'm literally right here with you.
This is the first thing that I do in the morning so that we can talk to each other straight off the bat, really. So we all know what's going on. There's a crew show, so I'm going to go and watch that, and then we'll be back. So this is where we watch a little rehearsal, so that we can see how many booms we'll need, how many radios we'll need, if we need to put down any carpets. We've got a lot of gravel here today, as you can see, which is very loud for the dialogue, so yeah, we work out all of these little things. He walks all the way around the edge of the dance floor, which is completely gravelled. After we've done the wide shot, we can get as many carpets in as possible to cover that whole area while he's, dialogue, then we'll do that. So we're just going to take in some carpets, because we're going to map the gravel. Do we have gaffer tape?
Yes. Bring it.
Thank you. I need to just pull this way a little bit. So we have Tessa tape, which sometimes we put on the bottom of shoes. They've all got heels on, or all got clip-cloppy, old-fashioned shoes on, so we'll put Tessa tape on the bottom of the shoes so that it deadens the sound. Tessa tape helps a lot of things, actually, like wobbly plates and things on top of other things. If you just, and also just knives and forks. If there's a dinner scene, it's going to be like, so anyway, obviously I'm not an actress, as you can tell, but that's what it's going to sound like anyway. We'll stick anything together to stop it from rattling around. I went to secondary school, got really bad grades, didn't get into uni, so I decided to go on a gap year. And then I moved to Glasgow. I applied to do a degree in audio production. They did a week of film sound, so it wasn't very long out of the 2 years. It was mostly recording bands, but I just loved it. Fortunately, I knew someone who was on a BBC drama at the time, so I sacked off my dissertation and I managed to get some work experience for a week, and then they took me on for the rest of the time. I think it was 6 more weeks as a sound trainee. Yeah, we just went from there, really. I've always watched a lot of TV. I never thought about working in it until I did that week at uni. I love meeting new people, talking to people every day. Especially this shoot has been incredible because everyone's just here to do their thing, but they'll have a chat with you. And the fact that I wake up in the morning and I'm actually excited to go to work is a massive thing. I think I'm really lucky to be able to say that that's how I feel. Because we're swapping between scenes quite a lot today, I need to find out who's talking in each section, because I'm going to do a lot of radio swapping today. Hello. We've only got these three in the first bit. Are they speaking?
So it's reggae's look a lot across, kind of the midpoint of that scene, but there shouldn't be any overlap in dialogue.
Okay, perfect.
You've got Lady Cowper in the Featherington scene, but I don't think that makes a difference. I don't think
She's got dialogue.
She has it.
Yeah, but I'll sort that out. Cool. Thanks, mate. So Emily is my main port of call for a lot of questions. She's the one I go to find out if they're going to repeat their dialogue or if it's just going to be like a look, like she said. So yeah, she's always the person that I go to first because she knows everything. Now I'm just going to go and set up the mixer so that all the names and the radios are in there. So we've got one of these for each name, each character. Finding them is always really difficult. You might have 10 minutes of me looking for one person. Colin, got him. We've got 8 radios. And we've got 4 double packs. I work out who's in the most scenes, so who's going to be wearing the radio the longest. Usually the men will go on single packs because they just go in a pouch at the back of the trousers, which is really easy to get out, change your battery. Costumes who are difficult to get into, I usually put them on a double pack so that I don't really have to faff around with that either. Then this little guy here, armed all the tracks, so when they go off to the editors, they know who's on which track. Wingman is the app that connects all of this together. It means I can do everything on here and it will all come up on there, which is great. So I'm just going to unsleep Nicola's radio. Smashed it.
I like that little noise. It sounds like an old dial-up modem.
Whereabouts have you put the mic?
I put it in here.
Cool. I will move that.
Forever torturing me.
What? Outrageous.
Turn me on.
Ooh, increase the volume on that one.
God bless you.
That's okay. Thank you very much. The pinnacle for me in the sound department would ideally be sound mixer. However, boom op is definitely where I'm heading. To be a boom op, you have to have a lot of awareness of your surroundings, making sure that you're paying attention to the dialogue, but listening out for things that might be affecting the dialogue.
Okay, here we go. Background.
And action.
I'm checking to make sure we can't see any of our carpets in the shot. Boom shadows, boom reflection. If Johnny needs an edge, which is basically how far he can kind of get the mic as close to the actor as possible, I can give him an edge of frame so he can come in, and then as soon as I see it I can tell him up, up, up until he's just out, and that's like the right edge of frame where he really needs to be to get optimum sound. Oh yeah, that's no good. Big old boom shadow. Because there's so many lights coming from like loads of different angles. I do the same thing kind of every day, and every day I can see that I've improved. Like at the beginning of a job, I couldn't track someone on a boom, but then 5 months in, like I'm getting it spot on. And I just come home feeling like a little bit mentally drained because I know that I've used my brain, basically. I just make sure that I've got all my radios. They're all re-batteried and re-stickied with the wires. Ready to go tomorrow morning, so I don't have too much to do. See you later!